Hi guys, and happy Saturday. So what we're going to do today is we're going to show you how to make this Sunburst card. This is using the papers in the free Oso Ombre paper set that comes in the celebration. Now this is a pack you get when you spend $50. You can get it free, and you get many sheets of this might be 2 packs together, I'm not sure. But they'll have the ombre effect on one side and the circles on another. So let's see, here's the actual package. So as you can see, you get, I think it says 48. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't tell, but I think it's 48. Okay, so what we're going to do today is this Sunburst technique. And what it's going to do is it's going to require to use 2 of the sheets. Now you can use this with any pattern paper. I'm using it for the ombre effect, with these ombre effect, just for this kind of sunburst look. It does use 2 sheets of the 6x6, just so you know. So I'll be frank with you up front. It does use a lot of of the sheets. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to bring out your trimmer. And you're going to cut these, and you can cut 2 at a time at 1.5 strips. And you want to make sure the ombre effect is there. You don't want to cut it this way. So you want to cut it up and down so you have that ombre effect. So we're going to go 1.5. Make sure it's together again. 1.5. And the last one will be 1.5 again. Oh, my blade came out. Okay, so there you have those. Now from here you want to do the diagonal cut. So you want to make sure that this is in the track. And then you move this other corner to the track. You want to make sure it comes to a point. Otherwise, you'll have, not that you'll have anything that's really bad, because you can always cover it up at the end. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over a little bit here, and I'm going to make a pile with the dark end and a pile with the light end. All right, just so it gets faster once we get into actually assembling the card. So again, make sure that point's in the track. Make sure that point's in the track. Make sure it doesn't move, and cut. Dark end, light end. Now when I did this one, because I did it off center, I ended up having 3 strips left. I'm not sure. I'm going to do this one straight in the center, or as much in the center as I can get it. And we'll see if we have the same amount left. Because I want to say that I think when you go in the center, I think you use a couple. I think you only have maybe 1 left and not 3. But we'll find out as soon as we get there. All right, so again, in the point and in the point. There we are. Okay, I'm going to put my cutter off to the side because I'm really not going to use it. For this one, I did use my cutter to trim off at the end, but as you can see, since you have many different layers and they're hitting the adhesive differently, you get some tear marks. So we're going to use a pair of scissors when we get to that point. Okay, so here we have our layer cardstock. Oh, one more thing I'm going to use the cutter for. This is, of course, our 8.5 by 5.5, and it's been scored. Just a trick that I use, just to make sure that it's even when I've scored it, I always put this in the corner of my trimmer because you have that lip there. And I always make sure as I'm folding it on that line, which is right there, I always make sure that I also had that in the corner there. And so you can see I was just a little bit off when I scored it. So I must have not been right on the line. So I like doing that. That's just my little trick to make sure that then your card doesn't have any edge when you fold it. Okay, trimmer going away again. Okay, so here's my layer. Now this is 5 by 4. I'm sorry, 5 1/4 by 4. So this is your normal card layer. All right. And I'm going to bring in my silicone mat, because if you're using the multi-purpose glue, you want to make sure you get all the way to the edges. And this is going to dry a little faster. So I do like using the Stamp and Seal Plus, but you have to make sure you get to the very edge, because if you don't, you'll have pieces that stick up. So as you can see right there, even though I have this right on the edge, you almost want to go off the edge, because see, I have a part there that doesn't have any adhesive on it, and you really do want it to go all the way to the edge. That's why it's good to use, oh, that didn't take, the silicone mat under, because of course the adhesive's not going to stick to it, and then you can always fold it over. I find the Stamp and Seal has a little more body to it, so that if you do go over the edge like that, it usually doesn't stick too much. It usually leaves that out there, and then you just fold it on over. But you want to make sure that you are all the way to the edge if possible. Now here, I'm not all the way to the edge. I'm going to see if I can maybe go off so it catches. There, you can see. So now I'm all the way to the edge. Very important. And then I'm going to put a couple more rows just in the middle, just to help with it. Now, like I said, the Stamp and Seal Plus is great, but it's a little less forgiving than the glue or your regular Stamp and Seal. So you might want to practice first with the other and then go ahead and use this. Okay, so I'm going to start. Now remember, we have our dark points and our light points. So this one, where this one I started off center, this one I'm going to start in the middle. I'm going to see what we have left at the end. So you want to make sure that point is right to the edge, and then lay it down. And then you're going to alternate. So if that was a dark, then I'm going to do a light here. Again, you're kind of hovering it over. You want the point to be right there, but you're kind of hovering it over and sliding it into it. And so then I'm going to do another light on this side. Make sure I only have one. My gosh, my dog's going to start running around here any second. So forgive me if you hear him come into the room with his Kong. He's trying to get the cookie out of the Kong. So he's throwing it up in the air, and it's bouncing on the floor because he thinks he can break it out of there. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it gives me just enough time to get a video done. All right, so we're alternating. As you can see, we're doing the light, the dark, the dark. And then, like I said, I'm putting that point down, and I'm butting this up to the edge. So, I mean, if you wanted to leave what I consider grout lines, I guess you could. I don't think that would detract a little bit from the starburst effect, but it wouldn't, like, kill your project, if you know what I mean. All right, I keep sliding down my workspace, sorry. And I have seen people that have done the alternating, where they've done the Blackberry Bliss side and then gone to the Granny Apple Green side. I'm just keeping it all monochromatic with just this Blackberry Bliss. Okay. And then here we have the final dark. And the final dark. So this one, yeah, we had 3 strips left on this one also. So I guess whether you center it or not, you're going to have a few left. Okay, so now what you're going to do is, and this is why you want to get it all the way to the edge, because these little pieces are coming up. And this one I did a little bit off, but, you know, it'll work. So instead of using, if you have a guillotine, which I do, but it's too big to put on my table here, you could guillotine the back. I'm just going to take a pair of Fiskars scissors. I do have my old Stampin' Up! Beautiful scissors, but these are my ribbon scissors only. I think we only carry the snips now. I don't think we carry this big one anymore, but these are super great. But like I say, I dedicate that only for ribbon. All right, so if you want to do the guillotine, you can. If not, you can use the scissors. Like I said, the paper trimmer works, just sometimes it'll get caught because you have so many different layers there. So sometimes it will get caught and rip your ombre paper. Now I know what you're saying. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of waste. You know, this is always good for like your paper piecing. I'm going to show you what I used one of them for as we finish the card. Oops, and there I went a little too close. I cut into the layer. And then here's where all the points come together. Okay, so you have all these pieces, right? I'm going to keep one of these lighter pieces out because I'm going to use that to stamp my cinnamon on. So let me see if there's any. There's a couple, just to see which is the best size for stamping. There's another good one. Ooh, that one even has a little more of an ombre. All right, so will I keep all these pieces? Possibly. You never know. But what I'm going to do is put them off to the side for now. Okay, so here is my Starburst, right? So now I want to go ahead and do my greeting. So what I will do is this is from the January to June mini. Love this. So I am going to punch out. Some say it's a scallop. I say it's more of a wave. Because, you know, a scallop actually has, like, those pointy parts. This is more like a wave. It just keeps going. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to have that layer. And then I'm going to stamp my greeting on one of these scraps. The greeting I'm using today is from this wonderful set. It's from a $1 Million Sales Achiever. This is Jackie Bullheis. Love this set. So I'm going to be using this stamp, but I'm only going to stamp that today is great. Because I'm thinking that you could use this as a birthday card, but to me, it just really, I don't know. It's almost like, more like a He Is Risen. It'd be a great Easter card. So today is great. It just gives me that, like, little, good feeling, you know, waking up, feeling good. So since I'm only doing some of the words, what I tend to do, and people use sticky notes, I have so much scrap paper laying around, typing paper, that I just use this. And I try to block off as much of those other words as possible. And then I use a Blackberry Bliss dot. Now, I might get some of the other letter in there, that bottom one. I'll show you what I'm going to do if so. And I hope my head's not in the picture. So I'm going to go ahead, do that. I can see over here that I got a little bit of that letter. So, and then it looks like I got a little bit of the. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and center that on there. Oh, I probably should have put a piercing mat underneath there. Oh, not too bad. A little bit of a shadow up there. Not that terribly bad. So then I'm going to go in here. Punch it out. Take my Stampin' Seal. Layer it on there. And since I have a little bit of a shadow effect, which will happen, we don't carry these anymore, but I ordered a bunch when we still had them. These were the Share What You Love enamels. So I'm going to put 3 of them up there to help cover up that line. Love the Take Your Pick tool. And then I'm just going to put 1 down here. Now, I usually don't do things in even numbers, but for this one I am. And then I'm going to pop that up because I want to go kind of over where, you know, where that busy is. Kind of distract from it in case it's offline. I rarely buy dimensionals anymore. I mean, I have a few packages I bought, and of course I got the black ones, but when you get your Paper Pumpkin subscription, you always have lots of dimensionals or glue dots left. I can't tell you how many I have in my little drawer here that are left over from the Paper Pumpkin. So go ahead and get that backing off. And then I'm going to place it on here. Maybe I'll put it on this side. Oh, I'm going to put it on that side. Do a little bit more. Oh, my dog's getting closer. I can hear him. And then place it on here. If you want to do a ribbon before you lay down this layer, you could. But I'm not going to take away from the beauty of the card. Let's go ahead and move that out of the way. And there you are. The Sunburst technique. Hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Add a comment. I'd always love to hear from you. Have a great day and enjoy your weekend.